In a world where young 20-year-olds are starting podcasts out of their garages and cars, Natali goes above and beyond to give you the content you want. Today on the podcast, Kesslin. He's got over 830,000 followers on TikTok, 11.8 million likes from making skits, 16,000 on Instagram, and he volunteers with Motivating the Teen Spirit. It's a program that teaches teens how to better understand who they are and their full potential. Remember, head on over to nickolasandtally.com/shop to get yourself a sweatshirt. Use the discount code TheNNShow20 for 20% off. Remember, leave a 5-star review, and maybe next week you could become the reviewer of the week. Also, if you like the podcast, share it with your friends. This episode, as always, is sponsored by Little Webby LLC at littlewebby.com. Creates the best darn custom software, websites, and mobile applications. DM them on Instagram at Little Webby LLC. Say we sent you for a free 30-minute consultation. As always, I'm the intern. You're the listener. This is Nick.
Hello and welcome. This is the Nickolas Natali Show. I am your host, Nickolas Natali. Today we have the most special guest, Kesslin. Noah, season's greetings, brother.
What's good? Thank you for having me. It's been an interesting morning.
Really? What happened?
And well, I just woke up early, and I don't really wake up early. I used to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to the gym, and then gym closed, and I was like, well, time to sleep in.
Dude, I really like your background. I actually have never seen. Are you in the dark chopping it up? I like that.
Kind of. So my room is fully dark, and then I have a light right behind me. That's a deodorant. Basically, there's a light right there.
It's building the environment.
That's how I take usually I take most of my Instagram pictures there, here, now that I'm stuck inside. So these pictures that, those were all taken literally
I wonder
right here.
I never even considered that. It could just be all dark behind you. It's pure darkness right there. Do you got the curtains, the blankets over the windows?
Yeah, I have a curtain right here. I have one huge window. It's probably that big. I just have a curtain covering it.
I think
it's pretty dark in here.
It changed the entire game. As soon as I throw a blanket on the window, dude, I am knocked out. 16 hours straight, no joke.
Yeah, with no light, I'm chilling. Usually, have you ever seen Hawaii 5-0?
I know, dude.
Oh, damn. Okay, so usually I watch it until maybe 12, 1 in the morning, and then I just crash. And I usually set my alarm for 10, but I usually snooze it till 11. But
that's all right.
It's okay.
Honestly, as long as you're getting the 8 hours, they say you're going to be healthier,
Yeah. I think I'm getting a little bit more than 8, but
the extra minutes are going to brain power, for sure. All right, so here's where I want to start with kind of your story, because I don't have the full picture, and I think I have everything post moving to California. So you were born in New York City, Is that correct? You're from New York City?
Yes.
What?
Yes, I was born in a Manhattan hospital, but I grew up in the Bronx. In the nice part of the Bronx, it's called Skyview. It's a apartment complex.
Nice.
It's super nice.
So what's growing up in New York City like? Because I kind of envision when I think of city, my only reference is LA, which is spacious, and there's still kind of room to run around. But it sounds like you are in the heart of the city.
Yeah, I mean, in New York, I only lived there till I was 8, so it wasn't really fully growing up there. But I went to a private school in New York. I was a fully Jewish private school, so I was half the day was Hebrew and half the day was English. So it was very culture shock to go from that to California, where everyone's just chill. Everyone in New York at that private school was so the parents were crazy. The kids were all really good in school, and then you come here and there's all these California kids. They're all just really bad. I think on surfing. I'm what is going on? Like, a lot of people like didn't really like Jewish people here, so that was kind of like a weird thing. Yeah, it was kind of like a weird thing to go from like
the norm.
I mean, that was like, and then it was like coming here was so weird, but I mean, it was very cold.
Yeah,
I didn't like New York.
Weather-wise, right? Not, I guess. How are the people there as well? Since, like, when you talk about the parents and the students being a particular way, what's the biggest contrast? You know.
I mean, the like people there, like, I don't know. I went back a few years ago, and I remember me and my mom were walking around at night. Me and my mom and my sister were walking around at night, and I was like, "Mom, I'm gonna say hi to every single person that we walk by and see who says hi back." And like, I'd say like half the people thought I was super weird, and they just like totally were like, you know. And then the other half were like
the halfway
hi, like. Yeah, they were like, what are you saying? Hi. But then like, I mean, there were like a few people that were like excited and like hi, but it was like not like, it was maybe like 1% of the people. Like, there was no one. They're just very to themselves. Like, when you, like in California, you walk by someone, usually you say hi or you say something. Obviously not now, but like, but I mean, you walk by and it's just heads down on the phone, like something. It's totally different. It's a totally different environment. So it's like, it's just so weird.
So you moved out here when you were 8, or you moved somewhere else before California?
No, I moved to California. So I moved to La Costa when I was 8, like in between Encinitas and Carlsbad, and then I went to like I went from 3rd grade until 7th grade, and then in the second semester of 7th grade, my family took me and my sister. She was like a year and a half older, or like a grade, 2 grades up. So she was a freshman and I was a 7th grader. And my parents took us out of school. We got homeschooled for 6 months.
Sounds
we just
awesome.
Traveled the world, and then, but that was pretty. I mean, it was pretty cool, yeah. But and then when we got back, we moved to like Carlsbad, and then I actually ended up being sent to Mexico for 10 months. So I've lived a bunch of places. I lived in Mexico for 10 months, and then I came back here, and then I moved to Orange County for a few months. I was living with one of my friends.
We gotta dive into some of these things. So you're in Mexico for 10 months.
Yeah, I was a pretty bad kid when I was younger, and like, yeah, so I would run away and like steal a bunch of stuff, and like ended up taking a car, driving without a license, smoking, stealing, stuff like that, drinking, and then my parents they cared about like all the other stuff, but really they were just kind of focused on me. Like, I was purely depressed. Like, I did everything out of depression, so like they were just scared that they were gonna outlive me, you know. So they sent me away to like it was like a therapeutical boarding school. It was like a Mexican jail pretty much, and I lived there for 9.5 months, and then basically it's like a program where you have to like graduate the program once your like therapy is finished and all that stuff. And like, I tried so hard to get my parents to pull me out early, but they made me finish it. And like, I mean, I'm way better off for it. So I don't really like I used to be really mad at them that I had to go there, but like now it's kind of like, I don't know. I wouldn't be where I am now if I hadn't gone, if that makes sense. So
where was it?
It was a nice. It was
where was it like stemming from though, like the cause of depression? Because just for like kind of context, I tend to talk about depression a lot on this podcast because like I have my own battles with it too, but like I think a lot of it for me is like trying to uncover why the way it is, why the way that I am.
Yeah. Well, I was honestly like, I cared a lot about what other people think, and the bad part for me about that was they didn't really like me. All throughout, I'd say probably from like 5th grade until 8th grade, I always got bullied for being Jewish. And then freshman year was pretty bad too. And then I went away, and my therapist in the program made me wear a yarmulke.
Yeah.
Like for like 6 months everywhere I went, like just to make me feel comfortable with being Jewish. And like in that program, I kind of realized like it doesn't really matter what other people think, because like I always thought I was fat.
Not fat.
I mean, I'm
yeah
not fat, and like I always like said like, oh, I'm fat. Like I would never go anywhere without a shirt. Like if I was going to a pool party, I'd always be the kid with like the rash guard on. You know what I'm saying? And like I don't know. And then I got to that program, and I was just living with a bunch of guys, and like all kids my age, and there was guys 200 pounds more than me. There were guys 50 pounds less than me. I mean, there were like kids that were like that big, and then there were kids that were, you know, like, and it kind of made me realize, I was like, damn, I'm like pretty in the middle, you know, like I'm pretty like good size. I'm not like a twig, but I'm not, you know, hunky chunky. So I was like, damn, like I kind of have to like appreciate what I have, you know. And then I was having like difficulty with my parents, my like sibling. Like I had a sister, and like when we lived in New York, like me and her were like close, like super close. And then when we moved out here, I kind of like, I guess I thought I was too cool for her at the time. I was kind of like, she's kind of weird. And then I don't know, like in that program we kind of just like got to like reconnect, I guess. I don't know. I think the main part of it though is like bullying and like caring what everyone thought.
How has your perspective on that stuff changed, bullying wise? Because bullying is like it can never end, you know, like.
Yeah. Well, for me, like bullying really isn't like a thing if you don't let it be a thing. Like it's very, like, it's hard to do. Like it's obviously easier to say than to do, but like it's, once you know how to, it's so easy to not let a bully get to you. Like obviously like hitting is different, but like if someone's just saying stuff to you, there's a very easy way to just like tune them out and just like pretend they're not there. And like obviously it's really hard to do, but like once you like know how to do it, it like makes it a lot easier. So like now when people like, I don't really get bullied anymore. Like obviously people like are always gonna say TikTok, you know, like that's gay, you know, painting your nails is gay, like stuff like that. But like honestly, it just is, you know, like I'm not gonna change who I am anymore. Like I don't really care what people have to think anymore. It's kind of just like that's what I'm doing. So either deal with it or don't, you know.
How do you
So
has there been people in your life that were almost like, I want to say, because I think there's almost two different types of, like, now we're getting to kind of toxicity, right? There's people that are in your life that are toxic and tearing you down from within because like you've almost created this relationship and now you can't get out of it. And then there's the other half that's like you see them every day and you're in the same place and it's like circumstantial almost. Have you had to go ahead?
Most of the kids that were bullying me were like just kids in my school, just like, you know, just the kids, you know. And then I mean, like I had a few best friends that kind of just like dipped on me, and like that like was really like like painful, you know. But like kids I would hang out with every single day. Like one of them lived at my house for like 6 months, and I don't know about 6 months, a few months, and just kind of like dipped. Like that's been like kind of like weird, just because it's kind of been like a trend. So like I don't know, it's like kind of hard to like trust people now. But I mean, yeah, I had one kid who was like very in my life and kind of just like one day out of the blue just dipped, and like that was in like 6th grade. So it was kind of like I was pretty brought to it early. But yeah, I mean, I've definitely had both. I mean, my best friend in freshman year was the kid that got me to drink and smoke and steal. I mean, that right there is like manipulation at its finest. So definitely that was not really good, but
it seems like your friend group has shifted then, because now I see like there's a video on your YouTube channel and it's you and your friend Julian, but the thing that I liked about it a lot was like you and Julian are having this discussion of like discipline and bettering yourself and like pushing each other to be better. So at some point along the line, like when did you start realizing that, hey, this dude I'm hanging out with is like pushing me to do the wrong thing?
Yeah, well, funny thing is I don't actually hang out with Julian anymore. That's one of the kids that dipped. But no tea to him. He has very good qualities, and then he's got some, different qualities. But I mean, I started working with this company called Motivating the Teen Spirit. And the bigger one of that is Motivating the Masses. You might have heard of it. I'm not sure. But so I started working with them. My parents dragged me to one of their workshops like 6 or 7 years ago. And I was super depressed at the time. So I kind of was in there, kind of was not. And then once I passed it, I really started to like teach the classes and like help like be like in the front. And that kind of helps like help me help others kind of thing, and that kind of like totally switched my perspective of like, like why focus on them when I can just better myself, so yeah, that was like real changer for me.
How did you get involved with that group? Because it seems like I should say, how did you get involved in like being part of like the front of that,
I just kind of kept going. Like they would see me every time. By like the third or fourth time I went, it's like 3 times a year. So like by the third or fourth time I went, it was kind of like I was kind of just like there. Like I would go for free. Like it was pretty expensive to go. Like I would go for free. Like I would just like sit there, and then I like the person who used to run it, Lisa. She or no, not Lisa. She would just kind of call on me like a lot, and just like have me talk a lot. And then I think one time I asked to be like one of the like teen volunteers. They have a bunch of teen volunteers that go up there. And at the time there were only like 4. I was like the 4th one. Now there's like a ton, but and I was like, hey, like, can I do it? And they were like, yeah, might as well. You've been here freaking ever. So yeah.
What's your relationship with? I don't know if what's your relationship with your depression now? So having gone through some of those programs and therapies, what's it look like on the day-to-day?
Well, I mean, obviously, like, I wouldn't consider myself depressed anymore. Like, definitely, I think I have it under control. I mean, obviously, you have sad days, like some days where you're just kind of not feeling it. But I mean, after the Mexican like program, like it really shifted my like state of mind, because like before that, like I was always depressed. I was always like ready to like end it. Like I was not like I didn't think about a future. I didn't have any like I didn't care if tomorrow like came or not. Like I was kind of like a mope. Like I was kind of just like chilling there. Like like I didn't think of a future. I didn't even think I was gonna be in the future. Like I thought I'd be dead already. Like I didn't really care. But like now I definitely like have a lot of plans for the future, and like I don't know, I definitely don't want to die. but yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that like you think about a lot, because I mean, I was depressed for a good like 6-7 years. So I mean, it kind of it takes a toll on a person, like I mean, I think about like how I used to be, and it's just like such a sad like thought just to think about how bad it was. So like now, like I have it under control now. I'm not depressed at all. Like I guess I have some like hours where I'm kind of just like chilling in bed watching my show, and I'm kind of like, damn, like I could be outside like doing stuff. But I mean, that's more
circumstantial.
Just, like, I think it's like quarantine vibe. Yeah, but yeah. pretty much.
I found some briefness on my own things. So I had like probably a year where I was very depressed, like suicidal in that range. And I came out of it for a bit, and then I had another like lapse probably last year. But I think I'm now starting to realize that, like, whether I like it or not, this may just be one of like my faults in my personality, whatever it is, my own creation as a person. But like learning how to manage it in a way that's gonna make me a better person is like the biggest thing for me, because it's weird. It's weird to me, and I want to know if you experience this, because this is how some days happen. Like most days I wake up now and I'm like a pretty happy guy, you know, I feel pretty good. But there's days where something just feels empty, which I think is, I don't know if it's biologically built or if it's emotional or what it is, but those are the questions that I have, that I'm like, why is this there? You know, like, why do I wake up today and this feels different than yesterday? I really don't know.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I mean, I was suicidal for at least 3 years. So like my like kind of like my state of mind was kind of like very spread out from like being suicidal. Like when I was suicidal, it was like a long time. So like for me, I guess I just kind of like I feel like I got over that, you know, like wanting to die thing. But like I definitely wake up sometimes and it's kind of like today, like yesterday seemed a lot better when I woke up. But like I don't know, I don't really feel an emptiness when I wake up, just because like I don't know, I live each day to just, you know, better myself and just work towards my goals. I plan on moving to LA in a few months with my friend. Yeah, so I mean, I moved out of my parents' house and then Corona moved me back in. So
just when you thought you could get out,
it's been interesting. Yeah, I'm excited to move back out, but we were gonna move like a month ago, but you know, Corona came. My dad was like, "No, you might as well just like wait." So we're waiting a few months, and then we're gonna get out of here. But yeah, I mean, it's weird because like I was living on my own for a few months, and it was super nice not having parents. You know, like it was nice not having to worry about.
What are you doing? What about
you
this?
know, and like this house is like very modern. It's very nice, but it's small. Like it's. My parents spent a lot of money to redo the whole thing. They knocked it all down. They redid it. Still very small. The walls are really thin. So like, I'm watching a show at night, and then my sister's banging on my door, telling me to shut up. You know, like lower the volume. I mean, it's just a small house. Period. Like, if I'm live on like TikTok, like
the whole house is an audience at that point.
Yeah. So it's kind of like. It'll be nice to move out again and live with my best friend. So that it'll be cool, you know. But I mean, it takes time, I guess.
All things do, for sure. Well, okay, so let's dive into it on that then too, because it does take time, and especially with content creation. And I've seen like you've tried all sorts of different styles to continue to grow, like in the way that you'd like to. What's the process been in finding your style and finding what works?
I mean, at first, like I was kind of just doing like what Reese does, like my best friend does. He has like 2.9 million followers on TikTok, and that's who I'm moving in with. And I mean, it was kind of like weird because you know he posts comedy videos and gets millions of views, and like I tried to do them. And like I wasn't getting the views, and I was like, like that the videos that he said like on his page would have, you know, gotten a few million views. And I was like, why aren't they getting them on mine? So I started switching up my content, and then once I started doing skits, they were doing really well, and I was like, oh, like might as well, you know, keep it rolling. So then I've been trying a few different type of videos, like more like aesthetic videos with like flowers and like mirrors and the freaking flower fields and whatnot. But like I don't know. They don't seem to get like. I think like my main thing is like skits. So like I don't know. I have like 700 something K, and like one of my good friends also has like 700 something K. So we're racing to 1,000,000. So we're seeing who can get there faster. So now it's always like constant battle with him. But yeah. I mean at this point I'm more of like a skit type of person. So I mean I've been doing stuff with my family now that I'm home, but it's been interesting. It's been interesting for sure. My family is a bunch of weirdos, so it's been interesting.
So it's good to have them around. Keeps the skits alive.
Yeah, it keeps the energy going.
I like that a lot. I'm curious with this though, and I wonder if you experience the same thing. So when I'm creating some content, I'm always torn between these two avenues, and I think it's probably heightened for you. The area of this stuff is working and people are enjoying this type of content, but really I kind of like making this other content more. Do you have any of those battles?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, I'd rather make some, like, fuckboy content and just look in the camera and sing a song and get million views, but obviously it hasn't worked out for me. It's like, I mean, I do, I guess, like, sometimes, like, I've been just kind of, like, mixing it, I guess, but more of the skit side. I'd rather, like, grow than, like, I'd rather grow with what's working than try and, like, do what's not going to work and just, So, I mean, I definitely do the videos I want to do, like, sometimes, like, I'll throw them in there. If like, I have a video doing good, I'll throw it in there just because I know it'll get at least a few, 1,000 views. But besides that, I've been really sticking to skits for sure. I think,
at least from what I hear, that if you could grow your audience to a point where they're no longer consuming the content because of the content, but also you as a person, like now they're attached to you too, you have a much more ability to like navigate into different areas, whichever way you want to go.
Yeah, exactly.
But you want to go into music next too, right? That's on the horizon?
Yeah, I'm talking. I have one of my really good friends is actually a producer, and like him and his brothers do a lot of music. Like they're really good. They're the Commas, they call themselves. They're Cam Comma, Lenny Comma, and Jordy Comma. They're all last name Comma. So makes sense. Anyway, Cam used to be my best friend. I'd say from like the end of 8th grade until I left for Mexico. He was like one of my really good friends, positive kid, never smoked, never did anything at the time. And when I came back, he had like 10K on Instagram. He was like, he was vibing with the music, and I was like, okay, that's lit. And then I restarted doing music. I was like, I've always wanted to, like, I always loved music, but I never really like thought I had the voice to, if that makes sense. And then I did a video a while ago. My childhood friend, like I've known him since like, I think like since I moved out here or something like that. His name's Owen. He moved to Nashville for music with his family. And I mean, his voice is like, you hear it.
Oh,
and you're
the singing challenge guy. Dude, that guy has a voice of an angel.
Yes, you've seen the video of me with the singing challenge? Yeah. So when we did that singing challenge, his voice coach is I think Beyonce's voice coach. Someone like super famous' voice coach. Yeah. She's expensive, but so she heard it. I mean, I guess he showed it to her, and she was like, "Oh, like I want to work with him. He's in a band," and they wanted me to join the band, and I was like, like I can't do that. Like I'd love to start singing, but definitely not like. I love the kid. Don't get me wrong, but I could not join a band. First of all, second of all, they do UK tours, not American tours. And, like I love the UK, but like I'd rather stay here. And like I don't know, it was a bunch of things that didn't make sense. I would have had to move to Tennessee or wherever. I would have had to move away. The voice coaches is on the other freaking side of the country, so I was like, I already had stuff going with my friends. I was like, I'm gonna just stay here, start my own music. But yeah, that kind of like made me think like, oh dang, like I can actually like do music, you know, like her voice coach was like, oh, we want him. I was like, oh,
to have someone like that, that's
cool,
super awesome.
You know? Yeah, so I was like, you know, might as well. But so yeah, my friend, I'm really bad with lyrics, so we're gonna, once Corona's over, once his parents he has like a really nice studio in his garage, and once his parents let us in, we're gonna start whipping up some music, but
cooking some gas.
Yeah, start cooking some music. But my manager is like super cool, so like he'll get on all the platforms. I don't have to worry about anything, which is pretty dope because I heard it's kind of stressful, like thing to do. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much. That's my main goal is to be like, I don't really want to be known for TikTok, if that makes sense. Like I like TikTok, is cool, but like I'd rather be doing music. I'd rather be doing, you know, like YouTube and acting and modeling, stuff like that. So for sure, it sounds a lot better. But
where you're at is perfect, though. You know, like it's the perfect avenue to take you there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just need, you know, one sound to blow up on TikTok, and you're kind of an artist at this point. That's kind of how it works now with TikTok. It's like you get one song that blows up, and you're kind of like up there now.
You're on the
like,
charts. So would you be making music with TikTok in mind?
So like my first song, I really want to do more of like an acoustic vibe. Here, I'll show you. I have a video somewhere on YouTube. It's my friend's song, the one I was telling you about. He oh, my dog's scratching on the door. He let's see. I'm pretty sure I put it in my watch latest. Here we go. So this is like, it's called Agony by the Commas. So like I said like try and make like something like, I want to make something like this. Here, I'll skip a little forward. The kid about to start singing is my best friend, one of my best friends. His voice is like insane. Yeah. You told me you love me, but did you really? Because when you left me, it was easy enough for you than me.
He's got a great voice.
So like something, you know what I'm saying? Like something like acoustic, like vibey type. And then the second song I wanted to do is more of like, you know the song Falling? Let me see if I can find it. It's pretty big on TikTok. This song, Trevor Daniel.
Oh, yeah.
You know that song? Yeah, so like I want the second song to be something like that, more of like a sad vibe. Because like that does pretty good on TikTok. Especially like
so
for skits and stuff. I can just put it in the... Yeah, perfect. So like I'm gonna do something like that, and then Reese, my best friend, just came out with one of those. So I was like, yeah. So
I listened to it this morning. It's really well produced.
Yeah, he has a producer, like a good producer. So like something like this. So like the second one. I'm begging you, please, like you just got here, but you wanna leave, like oh. So like something like that for the second one, and then after that, I think we're gonna drop like a project.
Like
we'll probably do a few songs in it, and then it'll be an interesting.
It'll be fun, whatever you do. You know, like that's a whole different side of your brain, I'm sure.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like TikTok's kind of like a thing where you have to like worry about it every day. You know, like if my videos aren't doing good today, like you know, like not, you know. Yeah, but like music's more of like you post a video, it gets a bunch of like streams, and like people are streaming it every day. You know, so it's like that. I mean, obviously, like my TikToks like still get views after the first day, but it's not like Spotify. It's not like Apple Music. If they're streaming it every day, it's like you're kind of set, and then you post another one like a few weeks later, and it's no biggie,
Gives you more time to create.
I mean, I don't know. TikTok's like an everyday, you have to worry about every day type of thing, It's kind of like...
And that's social media in general now. Like, if you're not posting every day, people don't tune in.
People get bored of you, and they're out, Like, I totally agree. Yeah,
it's the tough part about it. With music, though, I think you're right on, because I've listened to the same song every day for like the past 5 years, 4 years. Like, once you have a favorite song that people like, it sticks, But I don't go, like, I probably watch my favorite videos like once a year, if I need a good laugh.
Yeah, exactly. And then even like YouTube, if you have you can post 2-3 times a week on YouTube and still have tons of views, Like, that's another platform where it's kind of shaky, but like TikTok, it's like if you're not on there every day, like posting, it's like people will like get bored of you, and you're kind of like done. So definitely it's kind of like, there's been days where I haven't posted on TikTok, but usually it's like the day that, like, yesterday I had like 4 or 5 million views. So then today you're kind of like, okay, it's still growing. So I'm like, I'll have a rough day, but usually it's like every day. So
what was the feeling like when you got your first milli, like your first million likes on one of your videos?
It was a video that Reese helped me with, so it was kind of, I felt like cheated, kind of. Like, I felt like I cheated, like, but it's kind of like, he did one for like one of my old friends, and they got millions of views, and I was like, we could definitely do that, but like I changed the ending, so like, it was like, I felt like I cheated, but at the same time, I kind of didn't. It was like I saw his, and I was like, oh, it'd be funny if my mom was like, ew. Like, at the end, like, he came home after years, my mom was just like, ew. Like, so, like, I created the ending, but I was still like, damn, I kind of, like, cheated, So I was like, but, it was pretty cool. I was like, damn, like, that's a lot of people. I had a bunch of people, like, texting me. They were like, you just came up on my For You page. Like, what are you doing? Like, are you trying to be a TikToker now? And I had like not even like 50K. That video actually got me from like 50K to like 200 something nuts. K. Yeah. It got like 11 million views. So it was like, it literally pushed me that much. I had one with, we did the same similar video, and then we switched it to me being adopted.
They love that.
It got like 15 million views. I think that put me up at least 200K followers. Like,
organically too,
it was
right?
crazy,
like this isn't, that's the craziest thing.
Yeah, of course.
It's nuts.
Yeah, it's TikTok is the easiest platform to gain a platform, but it's like also like one of the hardest to like keep. Because if you have a platform on Spotify or Apple Music,
those
you're
aren't
fine.
going away.
Like, unless you don't post for like years, like you should be doing. But like if you don't post on anything else, like you're kind of in the wind. People are like, like. I don't remember him, he kind of fell off. So, TikTok's like, it's really cool, but at the same time, it's like, it's very skittish. Like, it's very easy to fall off.
Have you seen anybody fall off that you're like, oh man, is like, what's the worry? Like, where does it stem from? I do.
Lil Huddy? So, Lil Huddy, before he started dating Charlie, his account was... Obviously, like, he was still getting like thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of views. But like the kid used to get millions of views, like, per video. And then it started going down. His account was like kind of dying, and then once he started dating Charlie, smart kid,
business wise,
he took off from that. But his account's way back up now. But that definitely helped. Like,
for sure,
a lot. So. Yeah, that'd be pretty dang.
Hey, everybody's waiting on a part 2, man. People want to know more about your adoption, bro. Are you gonna give the people what they want?
The thing is, like, part 2s never do good.
Let's like for the like, part 2. Come on. You know? They don't.
It never does good. Like, I posted them before. No one sees them. They don't want them, and then they don't watch them. It's kind of like, why post it, you know? I don't know. It's definitely... I mean, I have posted a few of them. They never do good. I'm like, more than half the people that say, I want to see part 2, they don't watch it. I'm like, well, I posted it.
You're not going to come through. Come on.
You ain't here. So,
that's funny.
But, no, I've definitely posted a few, but...
I also got to know, did somebody really copy your video? Was it the stolen car one where you said... Did somebody really copy and get 8 million?
Yes.
Because I would be livid.
Yeah. Some girl, I actually knew her too, which is the worst part. We called her. We FaceTimed her after we saw it, and we said, Danielle, did you really just steal my art video? She was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I saw it on the NGR Voice, and that was like our backup account. I was like, really? And I sent her a screenshot of like our page, like on her phone. I was like, whose account do you think that is? Like, who's in the video? Like, it's us. And she was like, well, technically I didn't steal it from you. And I was like...
that's so frustrating.
Like, what? And she did. She got, like... I'm pretty sure it's, like, her highest video. I mean, she got, like... She went from, like, 20K to, like, 150K or something like that. Like, I was like, you're joking, right? Like, it was the same exact video.
Yeah,
like,
that's, dude, cold-blooded, man.
I know. I was like, and I was like, we called her out, too, and she was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You know exactly,
I was like,
all right? Just own up to it.
I was like, damn, at least, like,
or
say,
at least
like,
idea by somebody in the caption. Like...
Yeah. Well, like, nah, I mean, obviously everyone's, like, copied a video or, like, kind of, like, used the set, like, at least own up, like, at least be like, I copied it, but hey, it got views, right? Like, like, something, you know, like...
Because there's some formulaic things that are just doing great on TikTok, you know what I mean? Like...
Oh, yeah, I mean, trends are, like, the number one thing of TikTok, you know? So, like, that wasn't really a trend,
it wasn't.
I only saw it a couple times, so like, that wasn't really like a trend, but definitely copied a few times. So I was like, damn.
What takes a video? What makes it post worthy? You know, what type of quality? Do you have your own quality marks in your mind that you work it through?
I mean, the weird thing about TikTok is like, you don't know what's gonna blow up. Like, some stupid shit that you'd be like, oh, that's not gonna blow up, like, blows up. And then, like, stuff that you think is, like, totally gonna blow up, like, gets, like, 1,000 views. And you're like...
Yeah. Like, your hot tub one, I thought that was so funny. When you're sticking your finger in the hot tub jet. But I feel like that might be an idea where you're probably like, this might not blow up. But then it does.
Well, that was the idea where I was like, I thought it was gonna blow up, and then it was like, like, cause I saw something similar before, like, I saw something like where it was like, that she put her fingers, you know, like when you were a kid and you were at the lunch tables and they had the holes in the tables. Yeah, I saw one. She was like, when you're at lunch and you stick your and it's stuck, and I was like, where else does like stuff get stuck like that? I was gonna do something else with the jets, but I was like, that's a little inappropriate. So I was like, but the finger was good enough. I was like, okay. But yeah, definitely thought that one was gonna do good, but didn't do as good as I thought it was gonna do.
Dang good though, right?
It did, it did pretty good for a comedy video on my account. It did pretty good, but yeah, no, it was definitely like a weirder.
Yeah, like the concept was different,
but. Yeah, I feel like dirty comedy definitely does better.
That's true.
On TikTok.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Huh. Yeah, that's so interesting. Because you've also had a series of like the dirty jokes to your mom, and then like
Yeah.
It's so interesting because I think what you're saying is true because you've done the dirty jokes with your mom, which like, they're not super dirty for TikTok or whatever, but yeah.
Oh,
And
very
then
TikTok, yeah.
like you've also done some like motivation things as well and the comedy things, and it's like it's so weird how only like it could be very similar content and it just depends where it comes from and how it comes, like the success of it is so fascinating,
Yeah. It's strange. It's very strange. TikTok algorithm is definitely one of the most confusing things. And like a lot of TikTokers will say like, "Oh, my account's been shadow banned," which is like, it's basically they mean like TikTok's like blocking people from seeing their page, but it's not a thing. And like Reese, like one of my best friends, he goes to TikTok headquarters a lot, and they told him like that's not a thing. Like, so now when people like say it, we kind of just like laugh. We're like, yeah,
oh, it sucks.
Like I've met people. Yeah, I've met people with like 500K, and they're like, yeah, like I was like doing really good, and then they just like shadow banned me. It's like it's such bullshit, and we just like kind of like look at each other and
crazy
laugh.
Sucks,
like,
bro.
you're just not doing good, bro. Like. I hate to break it to you, but...
So are you full-time TikTok now? Full-time TikToker? Dang.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. I worked at Rubio's like, I'd say, like 6 months ago. And then Owen, the singer, he came to town, and he came to eat at my restaurant, and my manager was like, I hated my manager so like, she was so mean. And I was supposed to go on break in like 30 minutes. And he came in. I was like, hey, can I take my break early? There was no one in there. Like, we didn't have anything to do. I was like, can I take my break early? And I can, like, give him 50% off, because, like, we're eating together and all that stuff. She was like, no, I'm sorry. You can't have your break in 30 minutes. And he wasn't just going to, like, sit there for 30 minutes to order, I was like, can he at least get the 50% off that, like, my friends and family are supposed to get? And she was like, no, he's not eating with you. I was like,
oh, come on.
I was like, all right, cool. So I quit on the spot. I'm never allowed to work at Rubio's again.
Let's take that one
for
the team.
Took it for the team, and then I was like, I'm done, And then I bought us Rubio's and left. But actually, no, I think I got us free Haagen-Dazs ice cream. That's what it was. Yeah, he already got his lunch though. We just went home and ate, more. He's a power
eating every minute of the day.
Man, he's a lot.
That's funny. Dang, how freaking relieving that must have felt, or like, just like, I'm done. I'm so done with this.
Well, the thing was, like I wasn't doing any good on TikTok at the time. I was at like, I was at like 100K, and I was at maybe 200K, and I was like, oh, shit, like I have no job, no nothing. And I was like, you know what? It's better than being depressed in a freaking hot box. I was a cook, so like I was in the back, freaking dying all day. I was like, you know what? It's fine. Like I'll figure it out. And then I moved in with Reese, and like stuff started moving. I was like, okay, like we can work with this, And like now I'm full time.
That's amazing.
TikTok. But.
So what's out in LA for you then? Just more.
I mean, it's just more influencers. Like everyone knows LA is like the hub of social media. It's kind of like no one really wants to move to LA, but they kind of have to. It's kind of like one of those situations. Like obviously, like I don't love LA just because there's so many fake people in LA. Like everyone's all about money. Everyone's all about cars. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love cars. I drive a tricked out Nissan 350Z that's in the shop right now. Anyway, I burnt the clutch in my car. And long story. And like, don't get me wrong. I love cars. I love all that stuff. I'm gonna eventually have nice cars and all that. But I mean, it's more than just a car. There's more to it. Like, I don't know. It's more than just having an infinity pool looking over freaking Beverly Hills, Like, yes, I want it, but like it's not
your
like
defining meaning of your life.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes. Exactly. Like I'd rather get like a DM on my Instagram saying like, yo, like I watched your videos and like I've been really suicidal and like your video really helped me like, you know, like get through today. Like that means more than me. It's like $1 billion. Like I don't, you know, like that's just kind of how I am. But I mean, $1 billion.
I wouldn't turn it down.
But yeah, I wouldn't turn it down. But definitely, I'd rather take a DM, you know. But pretty much, yeah. I mean, LA is more of just like the hub. Really, all it is. I mean, me and Reese got a few offers to live in a few content houses, but we kind of like decided like we don't really want to live with a bunch of people. Like we got invited to one. It's called Drip Crib LA or something like that. And like all the kids were dope. They were super cool. One of the kids is the kid I'm racing to a mill. Super cool kids. Like I wouldn't mind living with them, but like at the time it just wasn't really the best fit for us. And like we were looking at an apartment, and like they're living in like a freaking mansion now. Like, but there's like 10 of them. Yeah. But, like it's like we would have more space in our apartment to ourselves than like in that mansion with all the kids, you know. So we were just like, no, we'll just get our own place. Like it'll be chill. And then we got invited to another one, but it never like went through. Like the investors fell through or something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's there's just so many people out there. Like so many like people to collab with. So many people to just everything. It's just
that is the weird part crazy. Of LA. It's like it's everything you need, but there's still some part of you that's like, oh man, I gotta go there. I gotta go there to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like we were thinking, like maybe we'll get a place in Huntington, like somewhere close enough, you know. But like, I mean, if you're gonna move, you're gonna move, you know. Like, yeah, I mean, we found a place in Studio City that we really liked, and it was like way in budget, and we were like, nah, might as well, you know. So we've been talking to them for a while, and we'll probably move in there. It was so nice. We went there during like right in the beginning of Corona, like when it was like still fine to go out, but they closed all the amenities, so like we couldn't really tour the whole place. But we got to see the rooms. The room was so nice. Like it was like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. One room was a little bit bigger than the other. I'm gonna take the smaller one. I don't really care, you know. I'm a very simple guy. I just need my TV. You can't tell, but there's a huge TV.
Right I see it. Yeah.
I just need my TV. My Voodoo, you know, like I have like the Roku. It's like smart TV, so I have like the Roku set up, and like I've been just buying like Hawaii 5. Each season's like $30. So
watch Hawaii 5-0 and call it. It's all I need.
You know? It's worth it, you know. It's fine. But yeah, I'm on like season 7. There's like
you're getting close.
10. The 10th one just came out. Yeah. So I mean, there's like 20-something episodes in each season. So I've been flying. I just started it like at least like maybe a month ago at most.
How did you get hooked on Hawaii 5-0 of all things? It's
so Reese, he was like, dude, my favorite show of all time is Hawaii 5-0. I was like, that sounds so dumb. Like Hawaii 5-0, that sounds so dumb. And then we watched the first one. I'm like, damn, that was kind of crazy. And then he was like, all right, we gotta watch the second one. I was like, okay. So then we just kept watching them, and then like after when we were eating, like when we had downtime, like anytime we were just watching it. And by the time I left, we were on like season 2, I think. And I've been home for maybe like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I'm already on season 7. I just bought season 7, I think last night or yesterday. Yeah, yesterday when I woke up, I started watching it, and then I was like, damn, like I finished season 6 already. I was like, oh, okay, season 7, here I come. And then like Reese is still on like season 2 or 3. He was he's already watched the whole thing, but he was rewatching it with me, and then he's just gonna keep rewatching it. And I was like, he was like, what season are you on now? I was like 7. He was like, holy shit. He's like, how are you like? What the? I was like, don't ask, bro. Don't.
Blankets go on the windows. Hawaii 5-0 is on. I'm in the zone.
The blinds are coming down. I'm relaxing, watching my show. It's pretty dank. I can't complain. Let's just put it that way.
I was curious if Roos had even seen it all the way through. I'm glad to hear that he put you on something he can confirm is dope.
No, yeah. He's seen. I mean, season 10 is brand new, so he hasn't seen the new one, but he's seen like all of them up to it. And he lived in Hawaii for a while too, so he like that's what made him. That's what made him move to Hawaii. He moved to Hawaii because of Hawaii 5-0.
That can't be true. I feel like no way, dude.
It inspired him to. I think that's so funny. Like
that's like somebody loving The Office and moving to Scranton, Pennsylvania. You know, I gotta.
My sister loves The Office. My mom got her a hat for her birthday. The Scranton company, the printer company. Yeah, that's so funny. She forced me to watch it this summer because, like, my family always travels. You know, so like last summer we went to New York and a few other places.
Yeah.
I think New York and Colorado. She goes to school there, so like yeah, we just like went there and we were like, I was like, what the fuck? I was just watching freaking Office all the time. Like I didn't have a TV in my room at the time. I just bought it recently. Like I didn't have a TV at the time. I was like, oh, shit. Like I'd always go out there and I'd be like, hey, can I watch something? She's like, no, I'm watching The Office. I'm like, damn, bro.
Nothing else?
You gotta give me a shot. Yeah,
dude,
now I don't really care.
It's dope though.
This
Come
TV's
on. How far did you get on The Office?
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Oh,
well, I mean, I started in the middle though. That's the thing. She screwed me over. I started wherever she was, so like I probably got through.
You gotta hit me with at least a favorite character.
But no, it's definitely a funny show, for sure. My favorite character was the main guy,
Michael
the one
Scott?
who ran the Scranton office.
Yeah, that guy's funny.
I thought he was hilarious. I loved his roast, his shitty roast. I thought they were hilarious. Yeah. I thought they were so funny.
Yeah,
he was just such a weirdo. Like he reminded me of my sister. I was like, "You're such a weirdo. Like you're hilarious."
Yeah, there's like a piece of relatability with all those characters. Like they're just extreme enough for you to be like, "That's funny," but also like part of me kind of feels that way. It's so good.
Yeah, well, that's like Hawaii 5-0. It's like totally action comedy, and it's like the best. Like the two biggest people in the movie is like the two, like one detective and one commander, and they're like the head of the 5-0 task force or whatever in Hawaii, and they like argue all day. Like their friendship is based off like hating each other. Like they argue all the time. Like beefing. And it's hilarious. Like it's so like what you'd expect in like a best friend rivalry. You know, it's like it's hilarious. So I don't know. That's like
you and the guy you're racing
part.
to a million. You guys are just friendly competitive.
Yeah. No, I'd say it's me and Reese a lot because, like, I mean, honestly, I wouldn't say that. Me and Reese are like the same exact person. Like, it's so creepy. Like, we'll be like mobbing somewhere and we'll be like bonsai bowls. Like bonsai bowls. Have you ever been there?
No.
Have you ever been there? Oh, okay. So it's like you know acai, right? It's like acai bowls. It's our favorite acai place. So we'll just be like cruising PCH and like we're like on the way back from the beach and like bonsai bowls. Like it was kind of just like we'd always think of the same shit. Like we're literally like the same exact person. Like it's creepy.
That's like
yeah. No, definitely like it's dope. It's dope. Yeah, I think I'm meeting him later. I guess Laguna Beach has opened up, so yeah. Like I think we're just gonna mask up and go and just like stick to our lonesome, you know. I mean, we live together. So, like if one of us has it, we probably both have it. So might as well, you know. But no, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've been really healthy lately, so I think I'm chilling. So
that's nice. You have somebody that you can like do all this with, though, for sure. That like has the same thought process, same values. Like you're going through this together, and like I think the biggest thing is like he's gonna root for you really during all of this. You know, like LA is
exactly not even root. Like the kid is like forget root. Like the kid literally like does everything. Like anything he can do, like he's done. You know, like he's just like a very giving person. If that makes sense. Like I don't know. He's helped me a lot, especially with TikTok, you know? Like, when I met him, I was at, like, 100K. No, when I met him, I was at, like, 5K. Like, I met him at 5,000 followers. Actually, no. We started hanging out when I was at, like, maybe 6,000 followers. I was, like, rooting to get 6,000 followers, and he helped me get, like 200K.
How did he do that? What was he was showing you how he did it? or like just involving you in the process?
Yeah. Well, he was just like helping with video ideas, stuff like that, and like, no, for sure, like the kid's like a genius, like so good at what he does. So like, just having him there, it kind of like helps me like, know what to do and like kind of learn from him like techniques and stuff. So like that was pretty cool. And then like just learning how to like just do everything. It was cool. And I lived with the kid, so like obviously I'm like something's gonna happen, like you're living with a TikToker, like they started to like know us as like us, as like
the team.
It was cool, yeah. But yeah, exactly. So yeah, it was cool for sure. Now I have a whole bunch of Reese Deal fan pages on my
I know,
Instagram.
I see some of those. How does that feel? I want to know how that feels. What is it? Is it weird? Is it flattering? Is it cool?
It's kind of a mix of both. Cause like I had one of them change from a Reese Deal to a no. Like it was kind of funny. But no, definitely it's flat. It's like it's not as cool, But at the same time, it's like you're kind of like switching up on Reese for me, Like it's it's like a mixture of both for sure. But like no, I've had a bunch of people like edits are super cool. Like I've had a few like people make some cool edits for me, like post them. Like I had someone make an edit the other day. Actually, it was like a puzzle or something. Let me see if I can find it. It was like it was like magazines behind me or something. It was dope. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah, that's
this chick.
Oh, that is pretty dope.
It was
I can see that.
I don't know if you can. Yeah, I mean, I was a shout out, but yeah, like that. It was like super dope. I was like,
it's
like stuff like that. Like people post cool shit.
It's nuts because it's kind of encouraging too. I bet like you're putting out this content that people are appreciating so much. They want to make content about you. That's probably pretty inspiring.
Yeah. No. Yeah, it's definitely like super dope to like have. I guess like not even a fan base. It's more of just like people that are like appreciating what you're doing. Like it's like a purpose. It's pretty cool.
I think
I'll give you that.
The coolest thing that an influencer can do, or one of, I should say, and you've already touched on like making sure your influence is meaningful in the long run. Like influencing people so you can get them through their day and things like that. But I think like even building a community of people that have something to unite over, like hopefully it's not like self-worship, you know what I mean? But like, for example, like Logic the rapper, I think his mantra of peace, love, positivity. And I think when I see that community interact together, like there is something there that is meaningful and like contributing something back to this world.
No doubt. Yeah. I mean that's his 1-800 song got me like stopped me from killing myself one time. Like that song like really like changed a lot, Like I totally agree. Like it's not just about like having people look up to you. It's like doing something with that, Like I definitely want to be able to have like that having that platform is like you can go both ways, You can help them start smoking or do whatever, and then you can help them like get through life and like strive, It's just like the type of person you are, I don't know. I know a lot of kids that don't really care, like, like they just kind of like like they're just kind of there. And then I know a bunch of people like Logic and like a bunch of people that are just like super, And then you look at like Blueface and you're
what's going on here?
What the hell do you do, bro? Like, what this guy is helping save lives. What the fuck are you doing? But, like, I totally get that. Yeah, Logic's a really like positive person, like with his platform, and then people look at like debate. I love. Don't get me wrong. I love the rappers. Like the music's fire, but I mean, what are you doing with the platform you have? Like most rappers talk about killing people, and they talk about drugs. They talk about bitches. They talk about anything you want to say, and then Logic's saving lives. It's kind of like it's just kind of like who you are. I mean, Louis.
I don't.
You know Louis Cabaldi, right?
Hit me.
No, he writes like more of like Logic type songs. Yeah, let me find Louis. His like most famous song is whoa, that's farther down than I thought it was. Well, his favorite, like my favorite song from his is like counting days since my love up and go.
I've never heard him.
You never heard him?
No.
He's like very like sad,
saying
but,
something meaningful.
Yeah, his meanings is like so strong. One of his songs is like the saddest song you'll ever hear. Every word that I've ever spoken since you left feels like a hollow street. You ever heard of NF?
Definitely heard of NF.
You know the song, How Could You Leave Us?
So good.
Like stuff like that is like very, it's very powerful, very
real, man.
Like,
yeah,
it's real. It's real. Like it's not like, oh, I shot her in the face and then like she slobbed me up and then like like it's like what are you even talking about, bro? Like, No, I definitely get what you're saying.
But I think that's the battle for like everybody that creates. I think there is something like that I feel like I don't think everybody feels the responsibility of like influencing somebody in a positive way. Which, I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying like, dude, you really should want to at least, like. And I think another point that you're saying about like somebody's music can be like one thing, but how you choose to live your life and then interact with your audience is it says so much,
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at rappers, like, I mean, you can still make. I guess you could make songs about like the baby type songs or like other people and still like be a good person in the world. Like do good things, like show people that you can like influence other, like obviously all rappers have a big social media platform and Instagram and everything, Snapchat, like obviously people like your music, they follow you, so it's like you can still make your normal songs like what people like you for, but also like spread positivity, spread good messages, but I mean a lot of them don't. Let's just put it that way. Like no hate to them, I still listen to their music, I still like fuck with their vibe, but I mean it's just like the choices that you're gonna make,
and I also agree with you there. Like for me, one of my biggest things is like it's hard for me to separate the things I'm creating from myself, and for good or for bad, but like to some degree like there is a reflection of character in there that is instilling something into people's minds, which is it's a really unique time to be able to communicate with a mass of people in one fatal swoop of a push of the button,
Yeah, because I mean, my dad pretty much does that for a living. I mean, he runs a thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's called Corporate Alliance, or it used to be called Corporate Alliance. Changed it. It's based in like UTC area.
That's right where I'm at.
He basically takes like people that have done good in life, made a bunch of money, and like they want to do something with their lives, like do something for the world, the community, and like basically he just like rounds up a bunch of people and like puts them in peer group meetings and like basically like helps them do good in the world. If that makes sense. Like he's very So like my dad's like been focused on that for a while, and Corona might fuck it up, but yeah, I mean, he's changing everything to like Zoom calls and stuff like that. So it's interesting how he's handling with it. It's pretty cool actually. But I mean, it's a weird time, but it's pretty much what he does for a living, which is it's pretty cool to see. Like it's kind of hard for me to not like want to do something with my platform when I have that, like dad, like that's like what he does for everything, you know. So it's kind of cool to have that, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know. My sister's done like a bunch of motivational speech. Like if you look up her name on YouTube, probably a few speeches will come up of her like standing ovation, stuff like that. It's like I think I've like one, but like I never really. The only thing I really got into was like that thing I talked about earlier, motivating the teen spirit, and then like, yeah. So like, I mean, it's kind of been like a family trend to do more like a motivational vibe. I used to like when I was like, I think like 7th, 8th grade, like that was what I wanted to be a motivational speaker when I grew up. So like, I still can, you know, I still like can like rush into that, but it's easier to do it when you have a platform. So it's kind of cool to be like building it. Because like I can take it wherever I want once it's like fully
you're laying the
built,
foundation,
you know?
Man, for whatever you want to do, and you have
exactly.
One of my biggest faults and problems in my life is that I think I'm out of time, and like you setting this foundation now is just so good for whatever you want to do. You have time to do absolutely anything, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy. So many people hate on all the young TikTokers. Like I know this one girl, and she's like 15, or I think she just turned 16. And her name's like Danielle Cohn, and I mean she's got millions of followers. She just got her own house. I'm like, bro, she's killing it. y'all hating on her like because she's so young, but if I could do that at 16,
but I'm doing it.
Yes, please. Thank you. Like, you know, like obviously I'm only 2 years older, but it's still like that 2 years is a lot, you know, like you could do a lot in 2 years, you know, like it's crazy. Like she started when she was like 15. Like, that's insane. A lot of the big TikTokers started on Musical.ly.
Way back when.
So it's kind of like they had the followers and then it kind of like transferred over. So it's a little cheating, but no, it's definitely like, it's definitely like cool to see how many like young kids are starting to like get a real big platform. It's just, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it, to be honest. Like that's very, I mean, I guess I'm considered in like the young people. Like I feel old that I lived on my own. I'm like, you know, but like, no, it's definitely cool, like to see everything.
Yeah, I'm curious, like you too.
For sure.
I'm hoping that, because it's almost like this is round 2. You know, like all of the creators from Vine are now pretty much majority of them are now on YouTube. And I think TikTok is going to have something similar. I don't know what they're going to transition to, whether that be mainstream, like what you want to do with acting and music, or if they're going to stick to completely digital. But it's going to be interesting to see like everybody's growth over the next couple years.
Of course. Yeah, no, I think, well, yeah, I definitely feel the Vine thing. I mean, a lot of Vine people are trying to do TikTok now. Like, I don't know if you know, like King Batch and like the Nelk Boys and like all of them. Like, they're definitely trying on TikTok. I mean, I guess they're not doing bad just because everyone knows them. You know, like everyone's like, oh, those are the kids from Vine. You know, so it's like it's definitely a lot easier. The Nelk Boys definitely transferred to YouTube. They're killing it, but yeah, I mean, I know it's Lance 210. Lance definitely starting on TikTok. He's trying. I definitely get what you're saying. You're definitely, you hit the spot on that one. I don't think TikTok's gonna be around forever. You know, obviously it's gonna die, like Vine did, like everything is going to, like Facebook did. You know, it's like it's definitely gonna happen. But I definitely give it a few more years before it dies out for sure. So, I mean, there's billions of people on that app, so I mean, I doubt it's just gonna die overnight, but definitely gonna be interesting to see where everyone takes it, like after TikTok. You know, I mean, I know a bunch of like the big TikTokers are starting YouTube, and smart kids starting YouTube, starting Twitch and stuff like that. It's like definitely growing to other platforms. So I mean, makes sense. You know,
it really does. Gonna double down for now and then see where it takes you. That's all we can do. Noah,
pretty much.
It has been a blast having you on. We're coming down to the final question. Are you ready for it?
Okay.
Let's see.
Yes, sir.
We're going to go with the deathbed question. You're on your deathbed. You can only tell you're on your deathbed, and the senior class of, I don't know, Carlsbad High. No, I don't know. Some senior class high school comes in, and they ask you for one thing you know to be true about life. What are you saying?
I mean, there's only really one thing that you have guaranteed in life, and that is you're gonna die eventually, and you never know when that is. So just cherish every day like it's your last, and live life to the fullest. I mean, don't like go crazy, but like definitely have fun when you can. Like if you have like money to spend, like spend some of it, have fun with it, but don't go too crazy, because hopefully tomorrow will be there too. So it's kind of both ways to look at it, but definitely just like keep in the middle.
So like that. All right, Noah, thank you for being on the show. I've had a blast. I really enjoyed chatting with you. You are incredibly genuine.
Yeah,
and it was really fun.
Yeah, me too.
Where can we find you on the internet?
Yeah. All my social medias, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, are based around my names. Like Instagram's like Noah.Kess, and then TikTok's Noah Kesslin, and then my Snapchat is Noah.Kess with 3 S's. So yeah. Test.
All right. Bye.
Yes.
Bye, everyone. Bye. All right, I'm gonna hit stop.
Wow, what a doozy of a podcast. Next week, guest Lindsay Rummings, Friday at 6 a.m., so wake up and listen to it. It's going to be pretty crazy. She's been slimed by Nickelodeon. She's a professional runway model and has modeled for companies such as Redken, Revolve, and more. She graduated a semester early from SDSU for her bachelor's degree, and she's about to get her graduate with her She's going to be a doctor of physical therapy. Nick has tons of respect for her because she wants to better other people's lives with her platform. Share the podcast. Do it, please. Or don't. If you don't like it, just keep scrolling. We don't need you. But we want you. And I think that's what's really most important. And if you listened all the way through to this, and you're listening to this right now, comment something crazy on the podcast. Like, why does Nick let this guy do his outros? Yeah. Stay safe. See you next week.